Hello everyone, and welcome back to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. It's always a pleasure to have you here, and I hope you're feeling amazing today. Get comfortable, because we're diving into a love story that refuses to fade, a bond so steady it seems to rise above time and turbulence. The headline says it all: Alina and Navruz, a connection that keeps glowing brighter no matter what. That's right. Today we'll step into their world, explore the delicate layers of their relationship, the pressures they've endured, and, most importantly, the fierce spark that continues holding them together. If you haven't joined our community yet, tap subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment with us. Let's begin. More than ever, in a moment where romances often feel like passing trends, where curated feeds set impossible standards, and where the fast pace of daily life distracts us from what truly matters, finding a love that stands firm is nothing short of inspiring. Alina and Alp have become one of those rare beacons. For those who might be just discovering them, they're both artists in the public eye, two lives woven together in a way that has captured the affection and curiosity of countless fans. Their story isn't a glittering fairy tale untouched by reality. It's a tapestry of high-profile celebrations and quiet nights, of interviews and red carpets, yes, but also of trials that have tested their unity. And it's exactly in how they've navigated these moments, how they've stepped out of each storm more aligned than before, that we find the essence of their endurance. When we picture long-lasting love, our minds often drift to images of constant harmony, an unbreakable serenity where conflict simply doesn't exist. But life under the spotlight, with photographers waiting outside studios, microphones extended at the airport, and comments raining down after every post, is far messier and, in a way, far more beautiful. Alina and Alp show us that lasting love doesn't mean it's easy, it means choosing each other again and again. It means tending to the bond with intention, patience, and a shared resolve to meet challenges as a united front. We've watched the arc of their relationship from the outside, catching glimpses as they've grown, individually and together. She continues refining her craft, delivering performances that linger. He stretches into new roles, stepping into characters with nuance and magnetism. And as each of them evolves, you can sense how the other's presence serves as both grounding and uplift. We've witnessed the wins, the premieres, the awards, the smiles that slip through when one sees the other succeed. But we've also sensed the less visible chapters, the late-night conversations after tense days, the quiet solidarity when rumors swirl, the kind of support that doesn't need grand gestures to be felt. What makes their story land so deeply with so many is its authenticity. While some public romances feel constructed for optics, Alina and Alp have never seemed afraid to be human. They don't overshare, but when they do open a window, they allow the breeze of reality to come in. There's a vulnerability there, hopes they hint at, insecurities they acknowledge with grace, and a willingness to be seen as imperfect people attempting something delicate in a loud world. We've seen how they handle the media's heat, balancing back-to-back shooting schedules with a need for privacy, facing speculations without letting them set the rhythm of their days. And instead of eroding them, pressure seems to temper them, like steel forged in a careful flame. That courage to be themselves, to reveal tenderness and flaws, resonates because it mirrors what so many of us long for, a love built not on illusions but on presence. Their connection becomes a reflection of our own hopes, of the daily work it takes to sustain intimacy, and of the grace we need when life tilts off balance. It's familiar and aspirational at once. Let's talk about what, in our view, anchors their love. First, communication, not just the act of exchanging words, but the richer version, attentive listening, reading what the other doesn't say, meeting emotion with understanding. You can observe it in their public moments, a glance that calms, a hand placed on an arm at precisely the right second, a smile that answers a question no one else heard. During interviews, their timing often feels in sync. One speaks and the other's expression softens, affirming, completing the thought without interrupting it. They know when to be a refuge, when to be a cheerleader, when to say nothing and simply be there. And when the outside world buzzes too loudly, they seem to find a way to draw a line around themselves and stand shoulder to shoulder. Then there's admiration, real, palpable, almost tactile. It isn't simply about applauding each other's achievements or posing on carpets. It's the way they value who the other is at the core. The discipline behind a performance. The kindness shown to a crew member. The integrity of staying true to values even when cameras are rolling. This isn't a dizzy spark that flares then fades, it's a steady admiration that fuels passion and respect. That kind of praise doesn't overheat, it warms. And we can't talk about their bond without speaking of resilience. Life hasn't padded their path. We've watched them weather misunderstandings and the strain of distance when projects pull them in opposite directions. Film sets aren't designed for romance, dawn calls, late wraps, flights, rehearsals, rewrites. Yet somehow, through each stretch of time apart, they appear to come back to center. Resilience isn't avoiding the storm, it's having the anchor that holds when the wind tries to pry you loose. They learn, adjust, forgive, and return to shared ground with more clarity than before. Beyond these pillars lies a commitment to growth. They don't settle for what's comfortable. You can feel their curiosity about the future, dreams they sketch together, a horizon they move toward brick by brick. Maybe it's not about making everything grand, maybe it's about stacking the small, steady choices that build a home. Trade-offs in schedules, quiet weekends after chaotic weeks, showing up for each other's milestones, planning breaks where they can be simply Alina and Alp without the weight of expectation. The blueprint seems to be written in pencil, flexible, open to revision, because they know life can redraw the map. What matters is that they're drafting it together. We could spend hours recounting fan-favorite anecdotes, but sometimes it's the understated gestures that speak loudest. A fleeting moment on a carpet when she reaches for his hand and he doesn't miss a beat. A shared glance during a live interview that steadies both of them. A congratulatory post that chooses depth over glitter. Bringing tea to set on a cold night. A voice note recorded in an airport lounge, promising that the time apart is just a chapter, not the story. These fragments, stitched together, tell you everything you need to know. And yet, beyond headlines and highlight reels, what truly matters is the energy between them, the ease, the respect, the way their body language writes a softer script than anything online. You can almost read it in how they enter a room, separately accomplished, together complete. There's an invisible rhythm, a private joke in a public space, a quiet loyalty that doesn't require explanation. Ultimately, the story of Alina and Alp reminds us that love, real love, is patient, persistent, and transformative. It's not manufactured overnight. It's built, repaired, and built again. It demands effort and offers grace. It asks for bravery when doubt creeps in. It remains steady not because life is simple, but because two people decide to be steady for each other. In a world that often prizes speed and spectacle, their relationship suggests a different kind of triumph, authenticity. It whispers that even in the glare of show business, an honest bond can not only survive but deepen, layering meaning over time. To bring it all together, we've looked at the elements that make the Alina and Alp dynamic so compelling, so admired, and so lasting: communication that listens as much as it speaks, admiration that honors who the other truly is, resilience that grows stronger after every test, and a commitment to evolving, individually and as a pair. Their story isn't just romance. It's a guiding light for anyone skeptical that love can endure. It offers proof that when a connection is tended with dedication, respect, and understanding, it can become something that feels timeless. Their love is not static, it shifts, learns, and breathes. Some days it's grand, other days it's whispered. But always, it moves forward. And that forward motion is perhaps the most inspiring part, not perfection, but progress. Thank you for joining us on this thoughtful journey through the bond shared by Alina Boz and Alp Navruz. It's been a joy to reflect on what makes their connection feel so genuine. Now, we want to hear from you. What stands out to you most about their relationship? Which moments have stayed with you? And what lessons have you carried into your own life from watching their story unfold? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we can't wait to read and respond. If this video moved you, gave you something to think about, or simply brought a smile, please give it a like and share it with someone who needs a reminder that love can last. And of course, if you haven't yet, subscribe to Turkish Spotlight Secrets and turn on the bell so you won't miss what's coming next. Until we meet again, take care of yourselves, and may love, in all its steady brilliance, be with you.